Hey Dean, back to Sear Performance. We're still working on the 33. I didn't really do a video yesterday, which would be like day 5, I think. Not really sure. But to show you where we're at, real quick, I did, um, where I left off was got most everything off of the frame and had the frame notched for the cross member and everything. So I got the cross member stuck up in place, put the A-arms. With these kits, the lower A-arms should be level to the ground when you're setting them up, and that'll give you like a point of reference. It's a rough idea because you need the full weight of the car to sit to be able to tell where it's going to be. I can't do that. I don't have the springs for the coilovers, so I can't get the coilovers in yet, but this will give me a rough idea on where the car will sit. So I got all that in. I'll go over that more when I get the coil springs. I did call yesterday and they were in and they're supposed to go out today or tomorrow or something. Hopefully I'll have them next week and be able to get everything done. But I did get it in place and measured and got the rack and pinion on and notched the frame for where the rack arms come through so that the has clearance, all that good stuff. And then um, I started to pull some of the wiring apart and kind of separate things and see what they were. These are the power leads for the MSD box, um, and I'll post like the instruction, but it's easy enough to look up the instructions. Red and black go direct battery. This is where they go. This is where they're supposed to go. Direct to battery. The positive, it does say in there that you can run to like a starter solenoid, and that's basically like attaching to the positive on the battery cable, which might be what I do with this one. And then I can kind of loom it in with the rest of that harness that comes down over to the starter relay and the battery cables. Um, and then I came over to this side and just started pulling stuff apart. I pulled the radiator wires off, and that's these ones here. And then I found um, on the radiator is a 2-speed radiator. So you see it has a ground, has a high speed and a low speed, whichever one is which typically what I'll do is probe both wires and find out which is the high speed. Basically apply power, ground the fan wire and then apply power to both these wires, figure out which is the high speed. And in this case, being that it's, I believe, on a toggle switch, um, I'll just use just the high speed wire and cap off the low speed wire. What I mean by cap off is typically what I do is I take the wire, I cut it, fold it over, and then put it in a piece of heat shrink tube, kind of with the loop just barely hanging out. So you can see there's a looped wire there and it's a dead end. Um, yeah. So with this, and I haven't taken the tape off of it yet, but you can see it comes in a good heavy gauge feed, and it's got the ground, and then they come to here, which you can feel is quite fat inside of there, and it feels like there's a couple butt connectors in there, but I've yet to take the tape off of it and see what exactly is going on here. Then they came out in 3 wires, so they hooked up, you know, the low speed and the high speed together, which may be the case with this fan. Maybe you need to apply power to both wires um, to get it to work in high speed. That I'll have to find that out, but I can almost bet just by looking right here that this is going to be, yeah, it's just a butt connector. You can see it's a yellow butt connector where they just stuck both nope, that's one wire. So that's the ground. They butt connected the ground instead of running it as one wire. Cool. No, there's another butt connector there. So let me peel some of this tape back. Sorry about all the moving and jumping around. But anyways, I'm not gonna sit here and do that. So there's two butt connectors there. So I'll take that apart. And then these, like I said, these will probably be rerouted over, tied into where the headlight harness comes down, and then it'll go into the frame just back there. There's a hole in the frame, and it'll go into the frame and run all the way up to the front, and then come out. And with the radiator wiring, I'll probably have all the wires come out just behind this radiator core support. I'll probably come out just behind it, and then the headlight wires I can kind of string up right along this. There's a bracket that goes here for the fender support, so I'll probably string that up. It's got a couple of loops in it, and I'll string the headlight wire up there, and then the radiator fan I'll probably just tuck over here, come up, and I mean, I kind of like the idea of keeping it on the lower bar here, and maybe using this screw for a P-clamp to kind of hold that. I would like to do a